So today we're going to take a look at what's going to happen if all of these Slavic countries unite in the modern day. This union will consist of countries like Russia, Poland, Czechia, Slovakia, as well as all of the post-Yugoslav countries. This union is also very unlikely to happen, but just for the sake of this video, we're going to assume that all of the Slavic countries unite in the modern day. Also, major alliances like NATO, CSTO, the EU or the UN, they do not exist in my videos. If they would exist, they would not let these countries to expand. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, if we talk about the Slavic Union here, the Slavic Union is a relatively stable country because most of the contributions come from Russia, who is a very strong country, and they do have the military and political capabilities to take over all of these countries. I mean, not take over all of these countries, but to remain in a union. They had the Soviet Union back in the day. But yeah, the main country here is going to be Russia. So yeah, also some countries are very unhappy to be in this union. I'm obviously talking about Poland and Czechia here, but they don't have any options. But yeah, we all know why you clicked on this video, because well, you want to see some war stuff, some military campaigns and some invasions. So yeah, that is just going to happen. As we can see that the Slavic Union is now recruiting troops from all over the country, and it seems like they are ready for their first military campaign. The reason behind this military campaign is to actually unite both of these areas. And to actually unite both these areas, we can see that the Slavic Union declares war on both Moldova as well as Romania. I mean, they could have connected their lands without having Moldova, but then it would just look weird if Moldova was still around. But yeah, anyways, war stuff. We can see that Moldova gets absolutely smacked around, even though they're mountainous, but the Slavic troops are pretty good at crossing the mountains. We can see that the Slavic troops now push in, taking all of the coastline of Romania. Another Slavic army arrives on the front line from the Yugoslav regions. This army pushes in, and now they are threatening the capital city of Romania, which is Bucharest. This army pushes around, capturing more and more regions. But finally, we can see that the main army pushes in, and the capital city of Bucharest was taken. And after losing their capital city, we can see that the remaining parts of Romania just go ahead and surrender. And this was a decisive victory for the Slavic Union. And as expected, in a peace negotiation, we can see that all of Romania as well as Moldova got completely annexed by the Slavic Union. Now, there were two reasons behind this military campaign. The first reason obviously was to connect these two parts of lands, which were disconnected. But the second reason was actually pretty interesting. So the Slavic Union was not that much sure if their soldiers are united, and that's why they had to declare war on Romania and Moldova. But now they know that their soldiers are united, as they all work together to take out Moldova as well as Romania. So now the Slavic Union feels more confident, and they start recruiting troops from all over the country. And this army is going to be very big, way bigger than the previous army, and it seems like they are ready for their second military campaign. This time the Slavic Union wants to have control of the Mediterranean Sea. I mean, they do have some coastline here, but they think it's not enough, and so they declare war on both Greece and Albania. And things are not looking good for both Greece and Albania. Immediately we can see that the Slavic troops storm into Albania, thus taking out the country, and the Slavic troops push in from the Thracian parts of Greece, and they were able to take Thessalonica. Eventually we can see that all of these Slavic troops are now pushing down the coast in hopes of getting to Athens, and unfortunately for the Greeks, they lost their capital city, and with the fall of their capital city, we can see that the remaining parts of Greece just go ahead and surrender. And of course, in a peace negotiation, we can see that all of Greece as well as Albania got completely annexed. And now the Slavic Union is dominating in the Mediterranean Sea, and they're now focusing on building their navy. But once again, this was another decisive victory for the Slavic Union, who now feels more and more confident. And by the way, if you're wondering what the capital city of the Slavic Union is, it's not going to be Moscow or Warsaw. Now, the reason why the capital city is not in these powerful countries is because they don't want to get too much power to one region. So yeah, for that reason, I choose the capital city to be Bratislava. It also matches the name of the Slavic Union. But as of now, Bratislava is looking very vulnerable. I think it's somewhere around maybe here. We can now see that the Slavic Union declares war on both Hungary as well as Austria. We can see that that the Slavic troops now push in, and because the capital city of Hungary was on the border, they unfortunately lost it. We can see that another Slavic army arrives on the front lines, who pushes into Austria, and they get to the gates of Vienna. Eventually, after a very long siege, we can see that Vienna was also taken, and slowly but surely, we can see that all of Austria is now under the Slavic control. The same troops now push into Hungary, who is really not looking good, and after losing pretty much everything, we can now see that the Hungarians finally go ahead and surrender, and this invasion was a complete success for the Slavic Union. And we can see another complete annexation of both these nations, and now all of Eastern Europe is under the Slavic control. Well, not all of it. They might invade the Baltic nations, but now they are not going to be invading any of the European countries, as they have their focus on somewhere else, and that somewhere else is the Caucasus. Mainly talking about Georgia here. Now, even though one region does not have too many power in the Slavic Union, but still, we all know how Russia would dominate in this union, because once again, this just explains everything. This is literally the Slavic Union without Russia. This won't be weak, but excluding this isn't that strong either. So yeah, we can now see that the Slavic troops have arrived on the border with Georgia, and thus the Slavic Union declares war on Georgia. Russia already has two proxies here who were in support of this invasion, but the geography of Georgia is not letting the Slavic Union to expand in a very good manner. They can barely push in because of the mountainous terrain. But eventually, after many years of invasion, we can see that the Slavic Union finally gets to the capital city, and the capital city of Tbilisi was taken, and with that the remaining parts of Georgia just surrender. But this was the hardest of the military campaigns for the Slavic Union. They lost a lot of men, a lot of resources, a lot of supplies, and now they are questioning themselves, thinking even if it was worth it. But regardless, we can see that all of Georgia got completely annexed. Ooh, missed a spot. Yep, now looking good. But that was an invasion which took a lot of time. But still, let's move on. The Slavic Union still does not want to go to the west for expansion. They have another country to invade in the east, and that country is Kazakhstan. And now things are not looking good for Kazakhstan, as they don't stand a chance against the mighty Slavic army. And by the way, I think that the Slavic Union probably is the strongest country in the world now. We can see that the Slavic troops now storm into Kazakhstan, and because the Russians have a good knowledge about the terrain, because you know it was a part of the Soviet Union, they eventually were able to push in, and the capital city of Kazakhstan was taken. And yeah, this is it. That's what it takes to defeat Kazakhstan. And the Kazakhs have no other choice but to go ahead and surrender. But because the Kazakhs did not resist, the Slavic Union is gonna go a little bit easy on them. But yeah, now let's take a look at a peace negotiation. And easy on them they went. We can see that all of the northern parts of Kazakhstan were completely annexed, which were these parts. But they did not vassalize the remaining parts of Kazakhstan, because as I said, they went a little easy on the Kazakhs. But this was the end of the campaigns in the east, and now the Slavic Union is going to be focusing on the west, where we all know what's going to happen. This is not good. We can see that the Slavic Union declares war on all of the Baltic nations, and these guys are not getting any support from anybody. We can see that the Slavic troops are now pushing into Latvia, as well as Lithuania, as well as Estonia. Lithuania tries to push in, and they eventually were able to take Kaliningrad. Wow, huge success for you. Which makes the Slavic Union even more angry, and we can see that more and more troops arrive on the Lithuanian front line. These troops are pushed back. We can see that the coastline of Lithuania is now taken, and after just a slight bit of push, we can see that the capital city of Lithuania was taken, which leads Lithuania out of this war. We can see that the Slavic troops push in, capturing the capital city of Estonia, which leads Estonia out of this war, and the same troops now try to push into Latvia. We can see that Latvia is now fighting a three-front war, which is too much for them to handle. But eventually, after losing their capital city, we can see that the remaining army of the Latvians just go ahead and surrender. And guys, I'm not showing any of these other countries to be weak. It's just that the Slavic Union is very overpowered because of obvious reasons. So yeah, let's now take a look at a peace negotiation. And once again, we can see that all of these countries got completely annexed. And now we can see that the Slavic Union has control over all of Eastern Europe. And things are looking very good for the Slavic Union. And it doesn't seem like they are going to break apart in a million pieces. From this point, they are not going to be invading any other country. But instead, they are going to send some ultimatums to different countries. Basically asking them them to be puppet states of the Slavic Union or vassal states of the Slavic Union. So yeah, these ultimatums are sent to countries like Finland, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, as well as Mongolia. And now let's see which countries actually accept these ultimatums. So yeah, let's see. Okay, so if we take a look at these countries, these vassal states, we can see that Armenia as well as Azerbaijan accepted the ultimatum. Same goes for Turkmenistan as well as Mongolia. But the only two countries which did not accept the ultimatum were Uzbekistan as well as Finland. But the Slavic Union does not want to go to war with the Finnish because, you know, Russia did not have a very good experience while fighting the Finnish back in World War II. So instead, we can see that the Slavic Union declares war on Uzbekistan. Weird, right? I know. But yeah, this kind of happens. And eventually the capital city of Uzbekistan is also taken, and Uzbekistan does not exist anymore. And in a peace treaty, we can see that all of Uzbekistan got completely vassalized, which was the Slavic Union's main goal. But now comes the interesting part, where we have to divide up the empire. The king of the Slavic Union dies, he had 3 children, and now let's take a look at these divisions. Okay, so if we take a look at these divisions, we can see that the oldest son got himself most of the original Slavic lands. He also has the capital city Bratislava. The second oldest son got himself all of the Russian parts, as well as all of these vassal states. The youngest son got himself all of the Balkan territories. But yeah, this is going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell me what you guys want to see in the future. And thank you for watching.